So recently I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV online. Now, I would kind of get some cravings every now and again and just play just for huge stints on end. Although this one has kind of been my longest one that I've done in a while. At first, when I first started playing, I was just a one-trick bard and that's all I kind of stuck with. But as time went on, I would try out different jobs, and now to this point here, I've finally managed to get every single job to level 80. Partially to see what kind of things the jobs would be like at their maximum level. Partially just to keep my inventory a little bit more clean. So today, in an effort to make a video on a game that I have been playing a lot recently, I figured I would give my somewhat brief, kind of unnecessary opinion on each of the different jobs in, say, 5 sentences or less. Why 5? Well, I feel like 5 is enough to kind of get the general idea of the job to you directly, and not so much as to make this video go on forever and ever, because I could talk a lot about most of these jobs at least. So, without further ado, let's take a look at some of the jobs that are presented to you in Final Fantasy XIV. So, first up we have the tanks. Paladin. The tankiest tank of the group, Paladin has lots of fast-charging, fast-using defensive abilities to help keep yourself alive longer. They also have one combo that applies a dot, which is nice, and one special magic stance they take that ends in a powerful magic spell called Confiteor that looks super cool. And everything usually runs on an easy-to-track rotation. Warrior. Warriors hit hard all the time. They have a resource meter that they spend on even harder hitting skills. You have one skill though that lets you use these for free with the highest amount of damage possible being spit out during the duration. They don't have too much in the terms of being defensive, requiring more teamwork to get the full benefit of its defensive skills, but they do have a really good easy to use shield that applies to everyone around them. Dark Knight. Very similar to Warrior, however, they also use the MP as part of its resource management. They have an OGCD that applies a damage buff for a duration that are also strong attacks in of themselves. You could also use a special shield that lets you use those OGCDs for free if the shield is broken, encouraging careful management of MP to always have enough to use the shield when needed, but to also have the damage buff up and to not overcap on MP. Basically, you're always busy. Gunbreaker. Combos load shells that let you use a strong attack, basically adding an extra attack to your bread and butter combos. You need a shell though in order to use a secondary, more powerful combo that you typically try to use in the time frame of a damage up buff that you have. They also have lots of dots to keep track of, as well as quite a few defensive skills, making it the most similar to Paladin. Healers. White Mage. White Mage focus like 99% on healing. They do have one fast charging skill that applies a shield, but you focus mostly on base healing and healing over time abilities. Of all the healers, White Mage has the strongest set of attacking spells as well, alongside having one of the strongest attacks in general in the game in Afflatus Misery. MP management seems daunting, but constant use of lucid dreaming and thin air at points when you're using the most spells helps mitigate the worry. Scholar. On the other side of the scale, Scholar spells do heal, but their kit focuses more on preventing damage rather than healing it. The greatest source of healing comes when you combo heal with your fairy pet, as well as using up a special resource called Ether Flow. The Fae can also be enhanced to a better version for a short time, and between that and other stuff the basic Fae can do, Scholar can consistently attack more often than any other healer, even if they have the lowest amount of combat capabilities. Astrologian. Meanwhile, Astrologian sits in the middle of the healers. They can pick between two stances that augment their abilities between healing better or placing shields. They have a lot of instant casting spells that help with healing. Their biggest shtick though is their ability to draw cards, which they can give to an ally, giving the ally a damage boost for a short time, awarding you with a seal. You aim to get 3 different seals so that you can unlock an even stronger raid-wide damage buff. Melee DPS. Monk. Every global cooldown combo attack has a specific spot that you need to hit on the enemy in order to do the most damage or to get the most benefit in general, forcing you to run around a lot. You can somewhat mitigate that with Riddle of Earth, which ignores positionals if you get hit by an attack, encouraging good timing. Otherwise, True North is your best friend. Other than that, they have a lot of off-global cooldown usage, dots to track, and some good raid-wide buffs to apply, as well as special attacks they gain after finishing a 3-hit combo that gives them an attack speed buff. Dragoon. While they do also have positionals, that kind of comes second to maintaining their Blood of the Dragon meter. Being in this stance strengthens the Dragoon's special jump attacks they have, but also lets you combo off of high jump with a special projectile. Using that twice lets you use a special attack called Gira's Kogel that converts you to a special stance that changes Gira's Kogel into a stronger version called Nastrand and unlocks an even stronger still attack called Stardiver, which looks super cool. What's nice is that all that is done whether you're fighting a boss or a mob, letting you experience the full capabilities of the job no matter what you're doing. Careful attention must be given to them and their jumps though, since jumps heavily lock you into an animation, preventing you from doing anything until it's finished. Ninja. Ninjas have special ninjutsu stuff that comes with a specific set of skills you use in a specific sequence. One puts ninja into a special stance that gives them an attack speed buff, which needs to be maintained, while another one gives you an attack that then combos into another special attack called Trick Attack, which is awesome. As well, they have a resource much like Warrior or Dark Knight that lets them use other attacks, though they usually cost a lot, so you aren't using them too often. Outside of that, despite the large amount of skills the job has, once you memorize the ninjutsu combos, it's actually pretty straightforward. Samurai. Samurai is a very selfish job, though I don't mean that in a bad way. Combos give you special sen, how much sen changing the type of attack your weeb anime attack does. Combos also charge a secondary meter, which allows for other types of attacks or augments to pre-existing skills. Everything it does is to benefit its own attacks and capabilities, basically. Ranged physical DPS. Bard. Bards focus on maintaining dots on enemies and playing one of 3 songs on a rotation between the 3 at all times. Scoring crits with the dots awards you a special proc that comes with a specific song being played and charges up the Bard's strongest move, Apex Arrow. As long as dots are up and with lots of time, then you basically spam Heavy Shot until Refulgent Arrow procs, which you use that with Barrage to spit out a butt ton of damage. Machinist. Being the samurai of the group, Machinists focus purely on themselves, save for the one raid defensive buff they have, though all ranged have the same skill in some capacity, so it doesn't really count. Machinists work on raising 2 different resources. One allows you to summon a turret to help for a bit, or an automaton at max level. The other allows you to perform a different fast-firing attack that you focus on when using the wildfire skill. They also have an attack in Drill or Air Anchor that you can combo with a skill called Reassemble to allow it to direct hit critical, and it is glorious. Dancer. Dancers work on buffing as many people around them as possible. They could set one person in the party as to be their dance partner, giving them a damage boost after the dancer uses its dancing skills. And those dance skills slaps, outputting some of the highest potency in the game, though that's to make up for some of the weakest basic combo capabilities of any job. The dancer also aims to proc Feathers and Esprit to perform other off-global cooldown skills. Magic DPS. Black Mage. Again, much like the Samurai of the group, although this came first, so I guess Samurai was the Black Mage of the group, swaps between 2 stances, Astral Fire and Umbral Ice, achieving different goals. Astral Fire dishes out the most damage with fire spells, ending with an MP draining flare type spell. Swapping to Umbral Ice lets you regain MP very fast, and is usually the best point to reapply Thunder Dots. It has lots of procs, as well as being able to charge up a meter to allow you to use a super powered spell that can be used with its full potency no matter what stance you're in. Summoner. Summoner lets you command pets to attack, giving you stacks to a strong spell you can use, as well as strong dots to keep up. Summoner has 3 different special stances to be in, well, kind of 2, but one sort of gets repeated. Dreadworm Trance lets you instant cast spells for a bit, allowing you to use Death Flare for a high damage at the end of the timer. After that, you can summon a Bahamut Eggy, allowing you to use Achen-Keenan for a super strong attack, with Bahamut sticking around for a bit to help, and you use a second Achen-Keenan if done right. After Bahamut, you can also summon an Eggia Phoenix, basically working the same way as Bahamut, except it changes a few of your spells to be stronger and instant casts, alongside a healing buff to the raid. Red Mage. All y'all can suck it because I've been here since the inception of Red Mage and it's the best dang thing ever, and all you late adopters that were impressed by patch 5.2 but ragged on it before, that you're just rude. I mean, Red Mage focuses on alternating black and white magic to raise a mana meter up. Red Mage has the dual cast ability to help with it that allows you to cast a spell instantly after another, allowing you to use a fast casting spell to help cast a stronger, slower spell right after. With enough mana raised, you can move in on the enemy to perform a 3-hit physical combo, which then procs a special powerful spell right after, which then procs another super duper powerful spell right after that. Red Mage also has good-ish raid buffs in Embolden, and helpful utility in a decent healing spell, and the ability to instant raise. And in case anyone was curious, here is my list from my favorite to my least favorite. Please don't take this as a tier list of sorts, because I know a lot of people still like some of my lower end ones more than my higher end ones, but all that aside, these are my favorites, and it's just my opinion, I guess. And that's it. That's all the jobs that you can play today in Final Fantasy XIV Online Shadowbringers. Well, all except for the Blue Mage, but Blue Mage sucks, it's boring, doesn't count, it's a limited job anyways, so it's whatever. But no, it's interesting, just the amount of time that I put into this game. It's interesting to know just how much my gameplay style has kind of evolved, which is kind of neat, I guess. I've been playing since patch 2.0. Well, technically I've been playing since patch 1.0, but I didn't play much of it. Kind of glad I didn't. But anywho, no, since playing patch 2.0, you know, I was a one-trick bard going all throughout it. Then patch 3.0 came, and I was still a one-trick bard for the most part. But then I kind of got a glimpse of the tanking roles, and I kind of like what the Dark Knight could do, so kind of gave that a shot. And then patch 4.0 came out, and that was when Red Mage was introduced, and I was all over that, because Red Mage is one of my absolute favorite jobs in any Final Fantasy game. And so then when I eventually got my PC as well, that's when I kind of started to branch out and explore all the different gameplay styles that was introduced, and then even into Shadowbringers patch 5.0. Still mostly a Red Mage main, but whatever. I enjoy too much to give it up right now at this point, and that's that. But anywho, leave a comment down below talking about maybe your guys' list of favorite jobs, or maybe one specific job in general. Tell me why you like it so much. Or hey, if you're a monk main, leave a comment down below defending why it's your favorite job, because I will never understand why. But anywho, thank you all so much for watching. If you like what you saw, you can click right up there to check out some of my other videos that I've done. Or, if you really feel like it, you can click right up there to subscribe. And until next time, guys, I will see you all later.